Right, okay, let's do something interesting. The Coalition of Unemployed Private Nurses is disappointed that government hasn't employed them despite agreements reached in that regard. Now, they say that the Ministry of Health hasn't fulfilled a promise made to them in March 2018 to have them employed. Let's join Roland Walker. He's having a bit of a conversation with some of them.
Sector of our health delivery system, but especially when we know that personnel are just not adequately posted, but even trained, that becomes a difficulty for the health system. Look, let me tell you, since 2012, we've had a number of these personnel who have been trained, licensed from private health institutions, who have still not been posted. Well, just around 2015, we're told that a number of them were given some form of letters to be given some form of employment. But since then, we've had the bulk of the numbers. Well, I'll be speaking to the Coalition of Privately Trained Unemployed Nurses, and we'll be speaking to them, asking them some important questions on what numbers do we have in Ghana of their colleagues who have since not been posted. I have Doreen Boateng, and Doreen Boateng is a PRO. And Doreen, if you can just cross the camera for me and just stand to my right. Doreen Boateng is a PRO for the coalition. And then also Faith Tamaklo is also joining me. And Faith, thank you for joining me as well. But Doreen, let me first pose this question to you. Have you been able to collate the numbers among your groupings who have still not been posted since 2012 or even from 2015?
Yes, please. Our total number is 5,280, excluding those who completed this particular year.
So it means that since 2012, we've had incremental numbers of your friends who have still not been posted, even though trained and licensed.
Yes, please.
As a concern for you, especially knowing that you have been licensed and you needed employment badly?
It's a big concern because it is really creating a very big problem for our youth now. I have gone through school to be able to cater for my family, cater for myself. But here is the case, the government is denying me employment. And the problem is people don't really understand the meaning, the reason behind you going to a private school. And one thing we want to clear to Ghanaians is that you only receive your training from the private school, but the government is the one who satisfies you, who give you write your exam, your licensure exam under the government. The government will issue you your license, and every year you pay money, you pay for that license. If I should show you my license right now, you will see that I don't have the school I attended on this license. You will see Nursing and Midwife Council of Ghana. My name, my number, the expiring date, and everything. I just renew my license. If you turn it, you will see it. I have paid for it and I have renewed it. But this license has been lying down without working. And I pay money to the government every year. That is what we want Ghanaians to know, that the government is discriminating against us.
So is it that the mindset, and if you can just face the camera for me, is it that the mindset is because you attended private training institutions, that's why you're not being posted? Because we equally have those who have been trained from government institutions or government training colleges for nurses who still haven't received posting.
That is what we don't understand. Whether it is because we've gone to the private training school, that is why we've not been posted. But to us, we don't deem it fit that, because when you buy the form for the government schools, it is stated on it that if you don't get these schools in the public health school, you can apply to these private schools. They are well accredited legally, so you can apply to them. They are under us. So we don't know why this sort of discrimination is affecting us. We just don't know why.
You know, I want to establish this because from the conversation from the two of you, there's a mindset that there's a certain bias towards schools or training colleges for nurses that belong to the public sector or government. Is that the case? And how come you drew this conclusion?
From the Ministry of Health, their brochure, it is written boldly in it. If you attend these accredited institutions, the government of Ghana is going to employ you, or they will employ you. And then when you buy the forms, as my sister said, it is boldly written in it. When you complete these schools, we will employ you. So it's not fault of us. Because if we know that we don't have anything with the government, we don't have any contract with the government, then when we go to those schools, we won't come back to the government to employ us. And if the government does not believe in us, then why this exam? Why does the government test us?
Why the licensure, you say?
Yes, the government tests us. to know if we are, at least we are capable. And it's not that we are asking for higher salary, we are inferior to the public schools. But what it pains is that, is the government really telling us, if you don't go to my school, if you don't eat from my dining table, if I don't pay your fees and I don't put allowance in your pocket, you can't work for me? Is that what the government wants to tell us? No. Because he promised to be father for all. And we know it's not yet late. He can still do something about it. So we are pleading with His Excellency, Nana Adudanko Akufo-Addo, to intervene and get that posted.
In what predicament are some of your colleagues especially?
Oh, a lot. Some are in the house doing virtually nothing because they are wasted, complaining of their parents borrowed money to cater for them whilst they are in school, and now they are home, no job. So they are virtually in the house. Some are selling water, diapers. They are lucrative job actually, but they are wasting their skills at home. That is not what they've been trained for. They paid money to be trained as a nurse, and so they have to practice as a nurse. We don't want equality. We just want equity. That is what we are asking for. Not anything above the equity is what we want. But we need a fair share of the cake. That is what we want.
Well, from the conclusions of Doreen Boateng as well as Faith Tamaklo, the perception or the conclusion they have drawn is that it looks like there's some form of discrimination for nurses who were trained from private nursing institutions. And even though they've gone through the processes of accreditation by writing a licensure, and of course the Nurses and Midwifery Council also giving them the license to practice, they still haven't been posted. And what they can't even fathom is that, well, we have these vacancies that need to be filled in the various public health institutions across the country. So why the need for not filling those vacancies and making them stay at home? Now, Faith, when it comes to the consultation process and how you've exhausted it, how far have you gone?
We have gone so far. Countless times have we gone to the ministry. Countless times have we met the PRO, the minister herself, and the deputy and the minister himself. At times you go, they'll tell you he or she is not there. But you see their vehicles parked there. You will sit from morning till 5 p.m. No one attends to you. You have to take her and go home. You come the following day, they'll tell you we will process it. But the fact is, last year we did verification. You verified as, oh, okay, we want to know the number of nurses that completed the private trained nurses. We did the verification with our pins. So how come we are not posted to the extent that our juniors that were in school when we were doing the picketing are now getting posted? Okay.
So you mean that your juniors who also attended private training institutions?
No, the public training institutions.
Those after you, yes. But trained from the public sector school?
Definitely. Are getting posting this very moment as we are talking. But we that we have completed since 2012 are still wasting our lives in the house. So what does the government want us to use our meaningful lives for? We want him to come out, His Excellency to come out, to spell it out to us that this is what I want you people to do. You are not going to be posted, so that we know. So that we stop going to their doorstep, wasting our time. So we know what to do. Then they should close the private trained schools too as well. If no posting, then on their catalog, they shouldn't include any private school on it. They should close all. They should shut it down. The schools they have are not enough. That is why they pleaded that the private sector include theirs. But if they can't post them, then they should shut it down. That is what we want.
Okay, so what's the level of dialogue now? You go to the ministry, and what are they telling you beyond what Faith has enumerated?
Oh, nothing concrete is coming out from them. Nothing concrete. When you go, after one story or the other, it's in the pipeline. They will call you. Sometimes you'll be there. They will give you a call. Meet us today. You go there. They will tell you, oh, we are sorry. The minister is not around. He just had an emergency. He's gone. We'll call you later. And then recently, what baffles us is that we were called that we should come for a meeting. And they even chose our number. They pointed out some people to come for the meeting. And then when we went, we were surprised that they were talking about bonded and unbonded. And this is what I want Ghanaians to know. These 2016 people government are giving clearance to, they don't have any bond with the government. They are not bonded nurses. So it means this is a total discrimination. These 2016 NAC and NAP that government gave clearance to, they are not bonded. as we are. They are not bonded. So why is this discrimination coming? It means that what we are now talking about, the heart of this issue, is not bonded or unbonded. The heart of this issue is discrimination.
So have you been able to dialogue with the minister or the ministry? And then at what point would you go and say this is the next step for you and the decisions that you have to take?
We have not. We have not. They've called to meet us, but the time is not yet in. So we have not dialogued with them after yesterday's press conference.
But it means you have to do more follow-up and try to rally your numbers. It looks like perhaps maybe even though you claim that we have in excess numbers of a little over 5,000, you still don't have the numbers to increase the momentum for the advocacy you're doing.
Every year, the people graduate from various schools. So that is how come we don't have the number. This year, people are going to graduate in November. Last year, people completed school. But as at the time we did our verification, it was 2 years ago.
And then the number was?
280. 5,000.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2017?
Yes, please. That was the number. So all that we are asking is, even if you not employ all, a quota, little by little, the money might not be there. What we don't understand is, when you go, they'll tell you that there is no financial clearance. We are pursuing your cause. But ministry says, finance say they don't have the money. So where has the money come from for 2016 badge? That is what we want to know. And they claim they are fighting our cause and we are going to get our clearance. So that means they deceived us. They lied to us. They are neglecting the private nurses. And we want the public to know that we wrote the same exams. We learned the same thing. Our tutors came from the public institute to teach us. Even our demonstration rooms are far, far, far advanced than the public institutions. Well equipped. We pass our exam. Most of the private schools get distinctions. So why the discrimination? If we had written a different exam, fair enough. But we wrote the same exams. And we are renewing our pins day in. Then why should we renew our pins when we are not working? Wow, when you are taking the money from us, is this not sheer wickedness? We are paying and we are not working. And every year, if I don't renew my pin, you are taking my pin from me. So I have to make sure I get the money, go for a workshop and renew my pin. And I've not gotten a job. But you are taking my money. So they should come out clear and say something concrete. Now, we don't want promises. No assurance. We just want the paperwork. This number of nurses from private coalition are going to get posted. Then we'll be free. We will be happy. Then this whole ball game of picketing press conference demonstration will stop. This is not politics we are doing here. It is my life, my colleague's life that we are fighting for. I need a job. I have a kid at home. I have a husband. To support my husband, to fend for my kids. Not to waste my life at home. No, that is not the reason I went for the training school. Not at all. So we just want to get job to do, period.
So after the press conference and today, you're also increasing the advocacy, especially with the dialogue in the media. What will be done next?
We gave the government 10 working days. So after the 10 working days, nothing is heard. Then we are going for our mega Kumi Preko demonstration.
You mean you're going to demonstrate?
Yes, we are going to demonstrate. And it's that Kumi Preko.
But you have to apply, you know that the permits will have to be given, etc.
You will write, we've done it before. When we were going for picketing, we wrote counter letters to the security personnel, the police, Ghana Police Service. We wrote counter letters around before we went for the picketing. So we know the way forward. We'll write letters to them. If you don't hear from them, we'll write letters to them for them to know this is exactly what we want to do. And if permission is granted, then we are going to stay there with them, cook. Because when we are coming, we are bringing our everything. Stay there with them. If we don't see our clearance, we are not going home.
Well, thank you very much. We've been speaking to the PRO for the Coalition of Privately Trained Unemployed Nurses. They say the number from the last count of their verification way back in 2017 in excess of 5,000 unemployed nurses, and they feel that there's some level of discrimination being undertaken against them by the Ministry of Health and particularly government because they were trained from private health training institutions. It's a concern they have. The next step is they may hit the streets and protest. Well, We have to continue the discussions on many other fronts, and please make sure that you log on to Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We have a Twitter handle. You can also be watching us live, not only on Facebook, but also through our YouTube channel, My Joy Online TV. Now, back to the studio.
Thank you, Roland. Fascinating stuff there.